Hey there, welcome to another moment in the car with me, founder and director of operations and ministry here at GraceFilled Community. Yes, I'm Nicole Cater, happy to be here with you as you come on into my vehicle. So today I just want to talk about loving ourselves. I think that in today's time, there's so much communication about self-care, aspects of like, how are you taking care of yourself? There's this drive for this like health for self. And if we don't be careful, it could become in an unbalanced form. But there very much so holds true that especially those that are pouring out as leaders of your businesses, of your ministries, as those that are consistently in spaces where you're making decisions, because yes, let me tell you, decision fatigue is real. There is an aspect of self-care that has to happen. But what self-care looks like may not be the way that I think it's depicted today. It's not always that bubble bath. It's not always that spa day. It's not always those components. Sometimes caring for yourself is creating healthy boundaries. Choosing to say, this is what's required to keep my peace, not in an unhealthy form where you get to necessarily cut some off, but in a form that says, hey, I need to communicate with you. These are the boundaries that I carry. Sometimes self-care may look like taking time to sit with God and be still and know that He is God. Self-care may look like, yes, taking time to go to a movie, enjoying the very thing that you delight in and bringing God as a part of the things that you delight in. Self-care may look like going to get your nails done. What it should look like every time is a peaceful opportunity in where you sit and rest and you just enjoy, you delight. That is a gift that was given to us. We can talk about the Sabbath and why it's so important, but the Sabbath directly correlates to what is self-care. And when we're not taking times to rest or be in self-care, then we cannot be well-balanced, healthy, whole leaders. Because then we operate from a state of exhaustion, burnout, fatigue, mentally, emotionally, physically, and even spiritually. All three components need a time of rest. All three components need a time to refill from the very same area that you're going to be pouring out. And so I encourage you, if you are a leader in any capacity, evaluate, how are you caring for self? You know, scripture even tells us to love our neighbors as we love ourselves. I can't love my neighbor if I'm not caring for myself. We often hear the term of, you know, at the when you're on the airplane and they say like, hey, if we need the oxygen mask, put it on yourself before you give it to someone else. It's that same component in our leadership, in our lives. We have to care for self before we can properly give and lend it to someone else. So I encourage you today to just pause and ask yourself, what have I done to care truly for myself? An example of how it gets distorted is, yes, I like having my nails done, but then at some point it became a part of like, this is the thing that correlates with like a chore. It became a chore to go get my nails done every 2 weeks. It became a thing that like, oh, it hurts if I don't have this feel. So is that still a part of self-care and a thing that I delight in, or did it become a working chore? So sometimes we have to pause and evaluate that things can change. The very thing that we called self-care before may now be a working chore. So once again, I encourage you, take a moment today and just stop and pause and say, what am I doing to do self-care in a very healthy way? And in a healthy way means that, yes, what am I doing to care for myself and delight in the thing that I'm doing with the Lord?